Hey y'all, Roland Smith here, Mountain Bushcrafters Alliance. Going to be doing a series on trapping in southeastern Kentucky. Don't know how long the series is going to be, but we're going to cover everything from point A to point B, from start to finish. From gear to rain, weather, trap preparation, scents and baits, the things that I have learned, the do's and don'ts. Now, before we get into this first part, let me start by saying, now, I'm no professional trapper. I don't claim to be any kind of professional trapper. I'm self-taught, and everything that I have learned through trial and error being the greater part of it all. But when you're in the mountainous range of southeast Kentucky and you're running a trap line 8 or 10 miles, you may drive to a few of your traps. But the majority of your traps, you're going to be walking. You're not going to jump on an ATV or four-wheeler or pickup truck and go to every one of your traps. You're either going to find a tram road, a haul road, or you're going to make a road. And there's a lot of scouting when it comes to trapping in southeastern Kentucky for bobcat and coyote. Now, having said all that, let's get into the first part of this. The first couple of years that I trapped, I had went to the dollar store and bought a 30-quart garbage can, and I had attached some straps to it, and the thing worked perfect. If that's what you've got, that's what you use. But as time went on, I upgraded in my gear, and the first and foremost thing that I had wanted after reading reviews and watching videos was a luring pack. This thing is super comfortable and nearly indestructible. If you barter, trade, swap, sell, whatever, and you trap, get your hands on a luring pack basket. You'll be glad you did. Now, I had to buy the liner separate. It has a drawstring to keep all your gear, all your scents, everything that you have dry during the rainy season. Now, let me tell you something. When it rains, you're still out there on the trap line. You're walking. And you'll see if you follow along with me in these videos. Snow, through the rosy browers, up the mountains, around the cliff lines. Follow along with me and you'll see just exactly what it's like to trap in southeastern Kentucky. It's a big difference than anywhere else, unless you're in mountainous range. But now, the liner, I don't know if you can see it or not. I hope you can, probably not, but it has pockets all the way around the circumference of the liner. The only modification that I had done to this pack, which luring needs to do, is I attached pads with my speedy stitcher to the straps. I had no army belt. I had suspenders, and I cut the suspenders off, and like I said, I attached them to the straps. It makes it super comfortable. Now, if you're packing 20 pounds of gear, traps, baits, tools, and you throw you a coon or two in this pack basket, and you're walking, it gets to be pretty rough. And you want to make it as enjoyable as possible, especially if you're walking 4 miles and you've got 40 or 45 pounds in this thing. The pads on these straps really make a difference. And also, I attached a quick strap across the chest to distribute the weight. Now, I had a friend, Travis Neal, that made me, after I'd seen it on some of the channels, 3-in-1 groundhog tool, and I had him to make me one. And I have absolutely beat this thing to death. But I upgraded. 3 pound, if you use rod anchors, cable anchors, whatever you use, doing your dirt hole sets, digging out to bed you, trap, this is the tool to have. I'm telling you. It's got to be with me. It's got to be with me. Now, everything that I'm handling. Now, I'm OCD when it comes to my trap line. I don't spit on my trap line. I don't urinate on my trap line. And once I set a trap, I look for telltale signs with these binoculars if anything's messed with that trap, whether it needs to be reset, rebaited, or if I've caught anything, once I set that trap, I don't go back into that area. I stay out of that area and I look at my set through binoculars. That'll help you a whole lot, because if you, every time you go into that trap line or that set or that area, you're carrying more scent right into that area. Stay out of that, bed that trap and stay out of that area. At a distance, use your binoculars and look for telltale signs. If a cable's moved, or if you've caught something, or you're not quite sure, ease up. Just ease up to get a good look at that trap area. Stay out of that trap area. Everything you touch, everything, quick link, a cable, a hammer, your setters, a piece of fencing wire, don't touch it without having gloves on. Now you say, well, you're touching them barehanded. Everything that I'm touching today, I will scent proof and seal up into this trap basket before trap season. I use dead downwind because it does work. It does work. Go to Walmart and buy you just a little old sitting pad, just a foam kneeling pad. I'm telling you, that will keep the scent out of your area when you're bedding traps. Now, a lot of people say, well, what do you cover your pan with? Well, some people use sheep's wool under their pan. Some people use the mesh. I've got 2 rows of mesh. I've got the aluminum and I've got the fiberglass. And I find that more aggravating than anything. Now, I've been making waxed dirt as we go along through the past months. And I've got it in a 55-gallon drum, covered up. But I find this right here, non-bleached, half of a coffee filter will do just exactly what you need it to do when it comes to covering your pans on your traps. I'm telling you, this works. Like I said, you can bed with peat moss, but don't put peat moss over your trap. I'll show you why. But use waxed dirt, sieve dirt. I've got calcium chloride, I've got salt. That stuff just eats your traps away. But coffee filters are the best pan covers that I have found in using anything to cover my traps. Whisk broom, concealment. Now, I caught a coyote last year, a big coyote, and it was in a number 4 Duke. Well, people say, well, them Dukes are cheap made. Let me tell you something other. Nonetheless, if he bends your dog, which that's what's happened in my case, and you haven't got the tools to straighten that dog out properly to set that pan level, I had to take, well, that's the case with me, I had to take the trap out and replace it with another trap and bring it home and repair it. What I failed to do was to keep some tools, screwdriver, a little pair of vice grips, and the good old faithful multi-tool. I'm telling you, keep those in your pack. If you have to do trap repair, cable repair, you'll have something to work with. Now, I keep a little container inside my trap basket. And this stuff right here is just menial to what I pack. We'll get into everything as the series goes on. But now, in this are name tags, spare name tags, and quick links. Now, I'll show you how to properly secure a name tag to a trap. Now, scenario, you take this fencing wire. That stuff's indestructible nearly. But you take your name tag and you just take a little old piece of fencing wire and you wire it to your trap and you set your trap. You've caught a coyote. That coyote chewed your trap, chewed your cable, chewed every root and twig in the area. Most likely your tag is going to be gone. So I'll show you how to properly secure that, because if a game warden rolls up and your trap is not tagged in southeastern Kentucky, he confiscates your traps, he confiscates everything that you have, and you've lost out over a little old name tag. I keep my hunting license, my orange card, hunter's card, my hunter's orange card, and a few extra items, a lighter, and a few other items in this little dry box. It goes in my pack. Now, I've got a swaging tool. We'll get into all that now, but I have a swaging tool. Waste of my time to even buy that thing. I like to flat beat my ferrules to my cables. I trust them more if they're like this. No sharp edges, nothing sticking out to pokey. That's the way I do my cables. And like I said, we'll get into that. I've got trap setters. I use them when I'm in an area that I just can't get down. That I can't kneel on my kneeling pad. I use my setters. Paracord, a must have. A Baco, you don't have to have Baco Laplander folding saw for tree sets for your conibears, your little conibears, little 110s, but that's what I carry. Now, like I said, all these things you see are menial, even down to my sifting pan, homemade. Works perfect. Have no need to buy a sieve pan. I've got my own made. But all these things will be sealed, will be cleaned and sealed in my trap basket. We'll do dirt holes. I'll show you a little trick on doing dirt holes before the season starts without the set. When you do that, when you do a dirt hole without the set now, before season, you're getting that coyote or that bobcat or that coon or whatever you're after. You're getting it used to it being safe in that area. And when season comes, then you do your sets. They're already used to being fed there. They're safe there. They'll come in there. We'll do final sets. We'll do flat sets. We'll do dirt holes. We'll do DPs. We'll do it all. I've got a poke sled I'll be using this year. Be doing some winter camps and trapping. That'll also be in this series. We'll be talking about trapping in the winter months. Calcium chloride versus salt versus waxed dirt. All those things will be in this series of trapping in southeastern Kentucky. I hope some of this stuff has maybe gave you a few ideas, especially for you beginners. I know a lot of these veteran trappers, you know, they of course know more than I do, and but I'm still learning. I didn't come out of the womb running a trap line, let's say it that way. But I'll show you some of the things you can go to Walmart or to the grocery store and buy that will save you money from ordering offline. Some things that you can use off your catch to recatch. Ideas of not, if you have a miss, don't take that trap out of service. Reset. And the catch that you do catch, the dispatch, the fur handling, everything will be in this series. And things that you can use to help you enjoy your trap line for the up and coming season. But this is Roland Smith, Mountain Bush Crafters Alliance. And as I say, always go farther and stay longer. We'll catch you out in the field.